welcome to the channel. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So on today's video, this is my first ever watch from Berny, and there's one main reason why that is. For the longest time, I've actually been avoiding these watches. I've ignored numerous emails from Berny reaching out, and that's mainly because of just one thing, which is the name. Now I know while this name isn't as bad as some of the other names that we've seen on AliExpress, a lot of them being arguably a lot worse. For me, this name is just the same as calling your watch Dave or Steve. I just cannot take Bernie seriously. So this is why I've kind of avoided getting them in. However, I think after so many emails, I thought, okay, I'll accept your latest model. And the latest model happened to be this sub homage. Now, as I unboxed it, instantly, I lost all inspiration. As you guys know, sub homages, I think even the phrase doesn't cut it anymore, done to death. So I actually did this review maybe 3, 4, 5 times over the course of a couple of days. A lot of the times I ended up just shutting off the video. But now I'm going to actually power through this review. And yeah, it is a sub homage. And as I said, there's so many people doing sub homages. Probably the most common watch homaged. So with this review, I'm going to start off by summarizing, actually. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, get to the point, cut to the chase and all that, and just let you know what I think about this and where this watch actually stands. So with this Berny model number AM126, it comes in at £125. So it's not the cheapest version. Just for reference, I think Pagani Design, when they came out with their first sub homage, that has gone down to like 60 or 80 pounds if I'm not mistaken. So that is very, very budget friendly. And at the top end of that spectrum, with the sub homages on AliExpress, we've got some of the best coming in at 150 to 160, 70 maybe. And the main ones that stand out is like the Seestern sub homage, and also, of course, as you guys know, the San Martin one. So this sits like somewhere in the middle. But how does the quality and the build of the watch fare against where it sits in terms of price? Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. So in terms of specs, dimensions, they're more or less the same as we've gotten on previous homages. There's nothing too different here. NH85, sapphire, ceramic bezel, etc. This one is a PVD coated stainless steel version. They also have a black dial version and a white dial version in normal steel. In terms of dimensions, again, pretty normal, 40mm case, 13mm thick, 40mm lug to lug, 20mm lug width, and the bracelet is tapered down to 16mm. So is this really exciting? Is it that different? Honestly, it isn't. The first few times I tried to review this watch, I had a good look at it, I gave it a good once over, and it does lack in a lot of places. In terms of quality on the case and the bezel, it's not too far from a Pagani Design. On some aspects, it's slightly better, but at the same time, it's not as well built for the price point. As I said, if you add another 30 or 40 pounds, you can get yourself a Seestern or a San Martin, which is miles better. The only thing different I can say with this is they've gone for a different dial setup. The first thing is they've got a nice black dial. Right? It's not the grayed out dial. It's a decent shade of black. It's also not your standard sub style markers, so it's not a maxi dial. They've tried to mix it up with the 62 mass style, and they've also gone with that color scheme that you find on some of the new kind of reissues or recreational models from Seiko, which you can see the black and orange on there. So the MM200, the reissue 62 mass or the recreational 62 mass, it gets very confusing, and also the Captain Willard. So they've gone for that white and orange color scheme. They've also gone with this faux Tina Loom, and they've gone for a different style of hands. So they've tried, I think, to be fair to them, they've tried to be quite a bit different than a lot of the sub homages out there, because I think nowadays people just do not want to see the Merc hands. They don't want to see the maxi dials, and especially they want to really get away from this case and this style. But I think the hands are a bit too skinny. They are glossy hands, they're very nice hands, and they're great to repurpose actually. And the bezel rotation is okay. It's got a decent enough click. There's no real wobble to the bezel, but you do have just a touch bit of back play. So it's a better bezel than, let's say, a Pagani Design bezel. It is still 90 click. Does it line up? Yeah, you can kind of bring it back for it to line up on the markers. And yeah, normal date wheel at 3. The crown function itself is okay. Can't really complain there at all. But in terms of things on the case like that bracelet fit and finish on the lugs, slightly gappy, slightly uneven. This 5-link bracelet, yeah, just pretty normal. Do they have screw-in links? I believe these are split pins, and this clasp, that flip lock, very loose. So for £125, we've seen a dramatic shift, let's say, on AliExpress, where for £125 now you can get incredibly well-made watches. They just keep kind of resetting the bar, increasing the value of money, and increasing that value for money that we get from there. So Berny, I'd say they're a bit late, to come out with a sub homage. I don't think it's something they should have done. Only one good thing, which totally surprised me and caught me off guard. I initially thought it'd be absolutely poor, was the actual loom used on this. This watch is a bit of a loom beast, believe it or not. So let me switch over and show you guys how good the loom on this watch is. So how awesome does that loom look? Very punchy loom, all the different colors they've used. So first off, on the dial you've got C3, very bright, evenly applied, and there's no patchiness present. And I think the main thing for me is how bright that orange loom is on that ceramic bezel insert, and also that mini hand. I've never seen orange loom this bright. And you've also got BGW9 on that insert. So all together, I think they work quite well, and I'm really impressed with how well applied that loom is on this watch. And as I said, bit of an unexpected loom beast. So I believe that's it. I think I've covered everything. There's nothing on this watch that really makes it stand out in that hugely overly populated crowd that you have with all these sub homages. It's okay for what it is, but I think it's priced too high, considering it's very similar to the Pagani design, and that great loom doesn't make up for it at that price point, I think. As I said, the better options are the Seestern or the San Martin. As I said, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.